Ladies and gentlemen, it's a big, weird, wild world out there, folks, and here we stand. Al pie del cañón, ready for anything. I'm Rob, that's Dan, and you're listening to...
The ProBoh Show!
Good morning, boys and girls. It's Tuesday. How you doing in there, Daniel?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, you're doing well?
Yes.
Yeah, you're having a good week.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's only the second day of the week.
It's only
but...
the second day. But yesterday was fine, right?
Yes.
You went home extra early yesterday.
Yes.
Let's see what's coming up in today's show. Today we're talking about anonymity. Anonymity. Anonimato, would you say in Spanish? Yeah, the idea of being unrecognized and unrecognizable, to be anonymous. Particularly as it pertains to being online. We asked our 100 humans today to name a place where people pretend to be someone else. And today's unpopular opinion coming up in just a few minutes is there should be no anonymity online. No debería existir el anonimato en Internet. Tough one, Dan. Do you have any strong thoughts on that one?
I think it should exist. Yes.
You think that people should be allowed to be anonymous?
Yes.
Well, let's get into it. Not right now, though, friends, because right now we've got people joining us in the audience, fresh-faced, bushy-tailed, bright-eyed, ready to contribute to today's show. If you want to be as cool, as sexy, as charming, as interesting, as influential, as impactful as these people, well, you can join us on twitch.tv, twitch.tv/professional Bohemian. You can also interact with the show outside of our lifetimes. A lot of people did that yesterday. You can do that on my Instagram, and that's @professionalbohemian. Or if you're extra specially cool, sexy, charming, handsome, you can join me on my Patreon, where you get all the VODs and all the good stuff. Let's see who's joining us right now. We've got Eugene here from Russia. Hi, guys. How's it going, Eugene? Nice to see you. Bridge is here. Good morning, my beautiful Bonnie Bouncy Bohemians. Bonnie Bouncy Head Bob. Bonnie Bouncy Head Bob. Because I'm wearing a black shirt on a black background. I look even more like an emoji today. Vero's here. She says, good morning, beautiful Bohemians around the universe and beyond. And Bridge says, where does Bouncy Bonnie Bob end and the background start? Yeah, I know. It's not fair that I wear a black shirt with my big bald head. It's awfully disconcerting. I just look like a ping pong ball floating in space. Mike says, good morning, dear Bohemians. Can't believe we're at the end of the first half of 2026. This year is going so fast. Yeah, it feels like yesterday was Christmas, Dan. What's going on? Good morning, everyone. BTI is joining us as well. All right, should we get into some news, Daniel? I think we should. What was the last book you read, Dan? I asked you this recently, didn't I?
Prohibido suicidarse en primavera.
Yes, that's it. It's illegal or it's not allowed to kill yourself in spring. It's a play, right?
Yes.
Do you find yourself reading often?
No.
Did you used to read a lot more than you do now?
I guess so. I've never been a reader.
You've never been a reader. Oh, readers. No, but I hear you, man. I mean, look. I used to read. We used to be quite a voracious reader, and pretty much unanimously amongst me and my friends, we are all reading a lot less. And I think that's a phenomenon. Do your mum and dad read a lot, Dan?
Yes,
they do. They continue to read a lot.
Yes, a lot.
Okay. Why do you think it is people are reading less nowadays? What do you think the main cause of that is?
Other ways of entertainment. Maybe technology.
Technology, yeah. Yeah, could be. Not just the ubiquity of the mobile phone, but also things like Netflix, whatever. But look, TV has always existed. But because TV used to be linear, you couldn't watch your favorite program whenever you wanted, could you? And now you can. It's interesting because I came upon an article today from The Atlantic. A writer learns how to read again. Un escritor aprende cómo leer de nuevo. Did I translate that okay? Because I didn't use the elves for that one.
Un escritor aprende a cómo leer de nuevo. Yes.
Did I say it right?
Yes.
Sorry, I was confused because I didn't hear any Velatho or anything. I don't know what's going on nowadays. Oh, there it is. I thought his button was broken. There we go. No, it's working, guys. Many people don't struggle to read because they've become lazy or less intelligent. The real problem, according to this Atlantic conversation between Charlie Warzel and John Paul Brammer, is our attention is being reshaped by feeds, notifications, and the constant pull of social media. Brammer argues that the ability to focus has not disappeared, it has simply been redirected. We still pay intense attention to things that spark our curiosity, but too often that curiosity is being consumed by endless scrolling instead of books. His solution was not to force himself through impressive classics out of guilt, but to follow a genuine interest, rebuild his appetite for reading, and let curiosity lead the way back. What's your favourite genre of book, Dan? Short.
What?
Short.
Yes.
Comic.
I don't know. I don't have a favorite genre in books.
No?
No.
I used to love horror books. When I was young, when I was very young, when I was your age, Dan, when I was in my 20s, I used to love horror books. Not so much Stephen King. I've spoken about him ad nauseum. More James Herbert. Yeah. I wonder if that will re-sate my or re-engage my appetite for reading if I picked up a good horror. I don't know. The article also suggests that deep reading offers something digital life often strips away: stillness, reflection, and a richer relationship with language. Brammer explains that reading more seriously changed not only his attention span, but also his writing, thinking, and sense of reality. Social media has trained him to react to the absolute present, a non-stop stream of urgency and noise, while books helped him step outside that circle and think more deeply. His advance is simple but powerful. Stop treating reading like homework and start with the writer or the subject that genuinely pulls you in. And trust that curiosity, not discipline alone, is what helps people fall in love with reading again. It was a New Year's resolution for me, Dan, this year to start reading as voraciously as I did in my past, but sadly I haven't found the appetite. That somewhat changed a little bit recently, picking up Damian Moya's book that he gifted me. Albeit it is for kids, but it is a very interesting read nevertheless. I am enjoying it. I don't know. How about you guys out there? Do you find yourself reading as much as you did in the past? What is it? Is it the pull of social media? Is it the constant distraction of Netflix and a seemingly endless stream of entertainment? Or is it, the socio-economic situation of the fact that you just need to be making money with every little bit of free time that you have? I'd be interested in knowing. So join us, twitch.tv/professional Bohemian. Okay, let's get into the second piece of news for today. It's an interesting one. It's from the BBC. I'm in therapy for my 14-hour a day telephone addiction, and I'm determined to beat it. Estoy en terapia por mi adicción al móvil de 14 horas al día y estoy decidido a superarla. Dan, how's your social media break going?
It's going well.
Be honest.
Well, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's going well.
How many hours a day now?
I don't know. I don't want to look at
it. Come on, dude. You can lie to the audience, but you can't lie to Uncle Rob.
You wouldn't believe me if I told you that one of my friends has a 28-hour day. 28.
How? 28? How?
Because it
there
doesn't...
are only 24 hours in a day.
But it doesn't restart until you stop using it. So 28.
Wow.
We have a screenshot from it.
Wow, that's crazy. Male or female friend?
Male.
A male friend. And what is he looking at to engage him so deeply in in reels and short form
YouTube.
videos? Just YouTube. Oof. Oof. That's kind of worrying, man. Worrying because I don't think your friend is obviously an outlier. They're outside the norm. But people like that push the medium use time. What do you think the average use time is for people?
In social media, or maybe 6 hours.
6 hours. 6 hours. We spend 8 hours working. 6 hours on mobile phones and time for bed. That's crazy. Phone addiction may not yet be an official medical diagnosis, but the article makes clear that for some people it has become a serious and damaging dependency. It focuses on Marios, who can spend up to 14 hours a day on his phone. Dude, your friend should have been the topic of this article. He spends 14 hours a day on his phone, this guy, and is now in therapy to get it under control. Treatment centres say they're seeing more people whose phone use has become compulsive, with some clients describing their devices as a source of comfort, escape, and constant temptation. Experts say the problem is tied to the brain's reward system. Here we go. Dopamine, friends. With messages, likes, and endless content creating a cycle that can be hard to break. It's that dopamine hit. People need it nowadays. Give me my shot of dopamine in the eyes. Like me, share me. Oh, dude. The piece also shows how deeply this dependency can affect people's lives. In other cases include people losing sleep, relationships, work, and even their sense of purpose because of constant screen use. Therapists and support groups say recovery often means addressing the emotional causes behind the behavior, such as loneliness, anxiety, or the need to avoid difficult feelings. I mean, with alcohol, I don't know. Like with some drugs, right, Dan, like heroin, use it twice, you're probably going to kind of be somewhat dependent. I think cocaine is highly addictive, tobacco, highly addictive, smoke a couple of cigs, and you're on the hook for the rest of your life. With mobile phones, do you think it's the same thing? Do you think it, I mean, it seems to me to be something. It's a device. The problem is, like alcohol, you don't need it to do your work. You don't need it to get to work. You don't need it to come home. You don't need it. You don't need alcohol. I know you're laughing because we work with Irish people. Yeah, because I was searching for bottles of whiskey at 7:30 a.m. this morning. Yeah, it's a long story. I'll tell you later, friends. But I've got a whiskey tasting this weekend, and I need to take a bottle of whiskey. But you know what I mean? Mobile phones are somewhat ubiquitous in everyday life now. To charge my Metro card, I use my mobile phone. To see how many rides I have left on it, I use my mobile phone. And that's just me coming to and from work. So how do you kick a habit to or an addiction to a device you need to use on a daily basis? It is a tough one. I don't think it's simply a question of loneliness or anxiety or avoiding difficult feelings. I mean, maybe in some cases, but just through use of the phone, it's encouraging those little dopamine spikes, isn't it? While phones can still be useful tools, the article argues that for some people, the line between everyday use and harmful dependency has been crossed, and that with therapy, support, and gradual change, it's possible to regain control. Mike here says, the problem is society relies on smartphones for almost everything. Now you even need an app to go to the public swimming pools in Madrid. Yeah, and ever more. Society is moving away from even cards, even credit cards, friends, where you just carried a little piece of plastic in your pocket. Now that my credit card lives on my mobile phone, you know, I don't even really need a wallet anymore. Eesh. So if you've got some kind of a dependency to your mobile phone, what do you do when you want to pay for something? Or, as Mike says, go to the public swimming pool. Eesh, it's a tough one. But yeah, something we can see more and more in society. But on that note, my friends, let's go to today's unpopular opinion.
Unpopular opinion.
Okay, today we tackle anonymity as it pertains to life online. Today's unpopular opinion is: no debería existir el anonimato en Internet. There should be no anonymity online. And you're a false on this one. You think there should be anonymity online.
Yes.
Why?
Because there is already no privacy in normal life. So
Yeah, but you're not.
at least
You're not private to the platforms, Dan. Even if you have an anonymous name in public, on the platform you're not anonymous. They're tracking you, your cookies. They know your email address. So there's no anonymity from the platforms. You're only ever anonymous to the rest of the public. And you still believe, even knowing that, you still believe that people should be allowed to be anonymous.
to be sincere, yes.
Is it because you spend most of your time online trolling people?
No, I don't troll people, but I feel like there will be way more acoso. How do you say it?
Abuse.
Abuse from other people if they know who you are.
I think there'd be less. I think there'd be less if in a public forum people who were abusing other people and they had to use their real names. It would bring back some civility to public discourse. You know, like, again, I accidentally tripped up and fell directly into Twitter again yesterday. And there is a certain kind of spectrum of the British discourse there, where it's just a bulldog avatar with a Union Jack flag saying some of the most outrageously racist crap. UK independent, free, 1997. You know. And I wonder if they would be so freewheeling with their opinions if they were forced to be themselves. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because, yeah, you're right, Dan, when you talk about privacy. Like, I don't want people necessarily knowing who I am, what I'm looking at. But we do need to bring some civility back to discourse, don't we? We need for people to be held accountable for spreading lies or rumours or even violence in many cases. If we look at what happened in Northern Ireland recently, and then the Farage riots a year or so ago. I mean, certainly I think, society might need people to be themselves. I mean, or at least it just seems to make sense to me. And that's coming from me, and my hashtag on Instagram is @professionalbohemian. I do link back to my actual account, but still. It's a tough one today. So let's get into it, shall we? How do you think they voted on Instagram, Dan?
I think they voted false.
They voted true. 62% of people voted true today, saying, yeah, there should be no anonymity. People should be themselves online. So let's get into the true argument, shall we? Everyone should have to use their real identity online. Much online hostility is fueled by the belief that there are no real consequences. Removing anonymity could make people think twice before threatening, bullying, or insulting others. I do think we need more civil discourse online, and those people throwing around some not only erroneous information, but just harmful or bullying, engaging in online bullying, would be more reticent to do so if they were forced to represent themselves. Because 9 times out of 10, those people on the street would not express such vile kind of opinions or be such bullies. And the anonymity somewhat gives them the open door to do so, doesn't it? It increases accountability. If every post could be traced to a real person, it would be harder to spread misinformation, commit fraud, or evade responsibility. Yeah, I mean, there's even just the legal answer, or even the legal angle of being able to mitigate fraud, not just abuse, but being every account being linked back, traceable to an individual, would cut down on the cases of fraud. Have you ever been a victim of fraud online, Dan?
No.
But for those who have, they may see this in a very different light. Catfishing, impersonation, bot farms, and coordinated manipulation all become more difficult when identities are verified. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to go back into the Cambridge Analytica scandal or anything like that, but it would make scams and fake accounts harder. Public discourse would become more civil. People tend to moderate their behaviour when their reputation is at stake. Yeah, and without the risk of reputational damage, then you are much more likely to behave in a much more egregious manner. It creates equal standards online and offline. In most face-to-face interactions, people don't conceal their identity. The internet shouldn't be a special exception. And the final point in the pro column, investigating cybercrime, threats and exploitation would become faster and more effective if users were identifiable. Do you take any... I'm sure you don't take any... I mean, all those reasons seem pretty legitimate, right, Dan? To you, I would imagine.
Yes.
Yeah, because I think everyone's knee-jerk reaction is, no, anonymous. We want anonymity online. I mean, that's my knee-jerk reaction, but I think it's a false one, and I don't think it's necessarily to the benefit of society. Maybe to me as an individual, but, you know, no man is an island, as they say. Okay, let's get into the cons now, where 38% of people voted today. Cons are online anonymity should be protected. Journalists, whistleblowers, abuse survivors, political dissidents, and LGBTQ plus individuals in hostile environments may rely on anonymity for their safety. I don't think so. I just don't think so. Maybe in the case of whistleblowers and abuse survivors. But
What's a whistleblower?
A whistleblower is someone who, for example, do you remember when Facebook's files were leaked about how they made their platform addictive on purpose? Or their platforms addictive on purpose? Well, that came from an employee, an internal employee, who blew the whistle, who told the public about these practices.
Un chivato.
I don't know the translation properly. Maybe search on word reference. So a whistleblower is someone from inside an institution that makes public information that the public needs to know. A whistleblower. So journalists, whistleblowers and abuse survivors, etc., may rely on anonymity for their safety, but special legal protections could exist for exceptional cases. Again, this is not a fair argument. If it's necessary, then it can be made. We're talking here about regular individuals should be forced to be themselves. Privacy is valuable in itself. People should be able to ask embarrassing questions, seek mental health support, or discuss personal issues without permanently linking them to their identity. Privacy can still be protected without allowing complete anonymity, though, can't it? And let's not pretend that everything has to happen in a public forum. If you want to discuss personal issues or seek mental health support, you don't have to do it on a Facebook feed. Why not send a direct message to a friend or a professional, a healthcare professional or mental health professional? These arguments don't wash for me, the cons today. It protects free expression. People may be willing to criticize employers, government, or powerful institutions if every opinion is attached to their real name. They may be unwilling to do so. Anonymous speech can also enable false accusation and irresponsible claims without accountability, though. It's a double-edged sword. Go on, Dan, did you have a translation for it?
Well, here it says delator, but there's
Delator.
not a specific word.
Okay.
It's the more
Common. Yeah. Mandatory identification creates surveillance risks. A real name internet would give governments and technology companies unprecedented amounts of personal data. They already have unprecedented amounts of personal data, friends. Anonymous speech has driven social change. Throughout history, anonymous publications have exposed corruption, challenged authority, and protected reformers from retaliation. Yeah, historical anonymity was often temporary and targeted. It wasn't a permanent identity shield for everyone. You know, even police officers who go undercover, they don't live like that forever, do they? It's a temporary situation for them to fully conduct whatever operation they're conducting. It's a difficult one today. You're going to have to dig deep today and be honest with yourselves. What do you think? Today's unpopular opinion is there should be no anonymity online. No debería existir el anonimato en internet. True or false? I'm going to post a poll right now and ask you to vote, and we'll be back in 4 short minutes. Hey guys, if you'd like to support the show, you can do so on Patreon. That's patreon.com/professional bohemian. There you'll find VODs of the episodes as they are recorded live, blogs, vlogs, and behind-the-scenes content. If you'd like to watch the show live, you can do so on twitch.tv/professional bohemian, and you can participate in the polls we use in the show on Instagram @professional bohemian or Twitter @ProBoh, PROBOH. Okay, on with the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You're joining us live at 9 a.m. Central European Time at this 30th of June, Dan. Officially halfway through the year. Yeah, well, at the end of today. When you go to bed, halfway through the year. Congratulations, Dan. You made it. It's a Wednesday of the year. Does this mean you hate the summer? You should hate the summer, Dan. It's the Wednesday of the year.
Summer is a good thing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, not your favourite though. Spring, right?
Yeah, spring.
Yeah. All right, what did you miss if you just tuned in? We looked at some interesting articles today. The first one was from The Atlantic, 2 writers in discussion talking about how they have lost some of their impetus to read. And we were talking here, Dan and I, about how that seems to be more common, more the rule than the exception, that people are finding it harder to read. We hypothesized it was because of too many distractions, right? It's too easy to lean on your mobile phone or Netflix to distract you, to entertain you. I don't know. It could be the fact that we're just working a lot harder, subject to a lot more stress. Who knows? And then we moved on to a BBC article about mobile phone addiction, highlighting Marios, a guy who spends 14 hours a day dedicated to his mobile phone. And our Dan here has a friend who quite impossibly spends how long? 28 hours?
28 hours.
In a 24-hour day.
I will send you the screenshot if I find it.
Okay. I just don't know how that's possible. They're using 2 mobiles at once. One on YouTube, the other on Instagram. Just it's crazy. Anyway. And then we moved into today's unpopular opinion, which is there should be no anonymity online. No debería existir el anonimato en internet. That's today's unpopular opinion. I'm going to dive into our chat right now and see what people are saying. The vote is still live, by the way. You've got 5 minutes left to vote. Let's see. Let's start off here with Vero. She says, true, anonymity is dangerous, especially on the internet. You never know who is behind every profile. This can create unwanted situations. It's true, right, Dan? Dan, all right. Like, if someone were to approach you on the street with a hood, you can't see their face, you can't see their gender, you can't see how tall they are, you don't know you don't know who it is. Would you naturally engage in conversation with that person?
No, but I cannot ignore him in real life.
Would you buy something off them? Would you? No, of course not. Of course not. Why should there be different interpersonal rules for the internet and real life? Shouldn't it be an extension of real life? Not, I don't know. Not a pseudonym, an alternate life. Why catfish the world? But you can't ignore him, says. Is that the worry for you? Is that if people were to use their real identities, they would be ignored?
No, it's not.
No. It's interesting, though, because something, I'm not going to lie, although I am a true in today's debate, I do understand the desire for the internet to remain the same. I think that's where I'm at. I mean, rationally speaking, to drag civility into the internet, we should rethink the ability to be anonymous. But just being a human being, I'm resistant to change now. You know, I don't know whether that's a consequence of my age or whatever, but no, leave the internet alone. I mean, what good comes out of the anonymity, really? I suppose if you're an extremely timid and shy person, you could have an online profile that is extroverted and, you know, gives you an ability to stretch those social muscles. I'm not sure what the benefits are. I only see, or at least I see that the negatives of anonymity outweigh the positives. Maybe I'm wrong about that, though. That's why we table these debates. Bridge says, I wrote about this when I came back. I absolutely agree. You need to have a finger pointing at you. There needs to be accountability. Yeah. And how do you hold people accountable when you don't know who they are? Again, look, nothing is likely to happen to Tommy Robinson as he incited race riots in Northern Ireland. Sorry, what's his name? Stephen Yaxley Lenin. I'm not going to call him Tommy Robinson, his political name. I'm going to call him his real name. Or Nigel Farage, called, what is it? Cold anger, furious anger, whatever he said, who incited riots in Northern Ireland. I mean, because those people have names, don't they? But they won't end up in prison. It's a tough one. Artemisa, good morning, Bohemians. Good morning, Artemisa. How are you doing out there? Mike, for people who live in authoritarian regimes or belong to a minority, being anonymous is sometimes the only way they can freely express their ideas online. Yeah, that's from Mike. Yeah. Oh, see, now there we go. You see, now I'm starting to swing the other way again. I mean, obviously, one of the largest contributors to this show is a gentleman who lives in Russia, a democratically minded, more liberally minded Russian person finding himself under a regime he doesn't necessarily agree with. And his opinions and ideas would be dangerous if expressed openly. Here's the thing, though. We don't live in an authoritarian regime, you and I, Mike. And again, when we spoke about freedom of speech, remember we made the point that it's a cultural thing. It's not a political thing. Eugene may feel like his opinion, he's unable to express his speech openly and freely. But other people who are pro the regime, who are for the regime, feel the exact opposite. They would feel restricted by different rules. If they were maybe perhaps in the West, they would feel restricted. I can't say whatever the hell I want. Eesh, it's a tough one. This is a tough one. I didn't realize how tough it was going to be. The poll is going to close in 1 minute. You've got last minute to get your votes in. Con's here. How are you doing? Con man joining us all the way from South Africa. Welcome, friend. The Spanish term rata is derogatory, as it is rat, but basically means the same thing as whistleblower. No, a good translation of rata in this context would be a grass. A grass. Someone who informs on someone else to the police. I know it's very closely related, but a whistleblower tends to be, at least in my mind, it gives me, certainly not negative connotations. A whistleblower is an individual. A whistleblower is an individual who exposes legal, unethical, or dangerous activities within an organization. These disclosures can involve corporate fraud, corruption, safety violations, or abuse of power, and are typically reported either internally to management or externally to regulatory authorities, law enforcement, or the media. A whistleblower. But I understand why you'd say rata. It makes sense. Eugene, true. Everyone should be responsible for their words. Interesting. Well, look at this. Eugene writing to us from Russia thinks true. There should be no anonymity online. You should be held accountable for what you say. Vero, true event. So Vero's going to tell us something that happened to her. I was once scammed by a fake renowned cellist. I think that's supposed to be. Fake renowned cellist. I was so blindly hooked on him that I didn't see the truth until some months later that Ruben told me that I was doing bad. What I was doing was bad. Unfortunately, that situation didn't last long. And I didn't do anything dangerous. Good. Yeah. But perhaps, if anonymity wasn't permitted, then perhaps you wouldn't have been fooled in that way, right? Bridge says, it seems that being a whistleblower is fine, whereas in a Spanish context, you would merely be a rat. Con, my football team lost. Did South Africa lose last night? I didn't know. I didn't know. I'm not following the World Cup. I never follow the World Cup. It's a consequenceless distraction. Are you following the World Cup? Dan, you're still in the sweepstakes.
Yes.
Turkey, my team in the sweepstakes, got knocked out. Germany, Dave's team in the sweepstakes, got knocked out. Cabo Verde, Mr. Dan over there, he's still in there.
Well, I'm playing against Argentina, so...
Well, look, more surprising things have happened in the world, Dan. I'm pulling for you. I'm Team Cabo Verde right now. Let's see.
Well, but to be sincere, talking about them,
yeah,
if I had to have a public account with my name, even though now my accounts have my face, if I was obligated to do that, I wouldn't have social media.
Interesting. Again, another good thing. I mean, look, why bother with social media at all? I mean, what's the point of social media, Dan? What do you think the point of social media is?
In my personal case,
Yeah.
to
No, not in your personal case. Like, when they first invented social media, what do you think it was for?
to connect to other people.
To connect to other people. Yeah, I would agree with that assessment. Making anonymity pretty irrelevant to that task, doesn't it? But in your case, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Dan. In your case,
No, I was gonna say that to post things without having an instant answer.
yeah. You see, that's the thing. You see, back when I used to post things quite often, I was this is tough. I mean, look, I get a lot of criticism online just for the things I say and the clips that I make. You know what I mean? And the points that I make on the radio, I get a lot of criticism. Hell, I got a death threat once. Only I know who the guy is because I got his phone number. And as someone who does get a lot of criticism, 9 times out of 10 that criticism comes from accounts with like a bulldog or an American flag avatar and a name like Freedom 98785, Let's see. Anyway. At least we qualified for the knockout stage, says Conman. Yeah, good for you, Con. Con is in South Africa. Where are we? I view anonymity as more of the ability to try on different masks and talk to people I don't normally talk to. Yeah, but the anonymity isn't necessarily needed to do those things. Right? I mean, look, I've known Con for nearly 10 years. Probably about 9 years I've known Con, and I still don't know his real name. I know he's from South Africa. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know what he looks like. Nothing like that. And I don't think our relationship would be any different if I did know his real name or face or anything. So you might be thinking, well, what's the point? What's the problem with anonymity then? Because not everyone's as pleasant and as nice as Con, are they? That's why. That's the point. Also, a few will spoil it for everybody. Well, yeah, I mean, that's welcome to planet Earth. That's why we write rules, isn't it? That's why we have laws, because of few people, Can't just be counted on to be good. Artemisa says false. In my opinion, names shouldn't be public. But accounts could be privately verified and only revealed by judicial order. That would provide privacy for vulnerable people and accountability for harmful behaviour. Lord Pumpkins is with us. Greetings, Lord. Germany lost to Paraguay yesterday. Don't lose your faith in Cabo Verde. I think, Dad, we're creating the Cabo Verde alliance here. Everyone pushing for Dan to win the sweepstakes. Dude, I'm with it. Cabo Verde all the way, dude.
On Saturday, we will know.
On Saturday, we'll know. Okay. Lord Pumpkins, I hope you guys are all right in this heat wave, excluding Rob, since his head reflects the sunlight. Thank you, Pumpkins. Rule number 1. For anyone who has ever used Discord or played MMO would know, never ever use real names ever. Bridge says, initially I used social media to reconnect. I cannot stand the anonymity thing. Maybe whistleblower could be translated as soplon. That's from Vero, yeah?
Yes, but it also has a negative context.
Does it?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, you can translate it like that.
I think whistleblower might have... I don't think it has neither a negative or a positive connotation. I mean, it depends on who you are. I mean, if you're in the CIA when Edward Snowden leaked information of them tracking people, then perhaps it would have negative connotations. It's a tough one. Yeah. I am yet to read, for me, and again, you know what Grandpa Bo says about opinion, so I'm just going to give you my opinion now. I'm yet to read a con. Someone saying, no, anonymity is vitally important. I'm yet to read anything that really sways me in the other way to agree with the con comment, with the con opinion. Other than if you're in an oppressive regime, you wouldn't be able to speak freely. There are no points, only consequences, especially for people like Rob and me who would start arguing logically with an opinion we find discarded on some social media post. And Mike says there's another word, but it's even more derogatory, chivato. Yes, soplon, but again, that has negative connotations, says the Bridge. And thank you, Mike, for chivato. All right, I've got some comments here on Insta as well. You guys doing excellent work today, by the way. Thank you for these. It's brilliant. You do bring me, like, especially in these topics where I'm kind of find myself floating in the middle. It's very interesting to read your opinions because I enjoy the shift in my own opinion. Again, what's the point in having a mind if we can't change it, right? When facts and information is presented to us. Rafael Novak says, part of me agrees. People are far less abusive when their real identity is attached to what they say. Chloe Whitaker, I couldn't disagree more. Anonymity protects whistleblowers, abuse survivors, and people living under repressive governments. Yeah, the repressive government thing is a hard thing to refute. But whistleblowers and abuse survivors, surely we can make exceptions for, like we do with press agencies and with protections under law, like, you know, when someone testifies against an organization in court. Surely we can make exceptions. But as a general rule, don't you think anonymity is a derogatory, is bad? I think it might be. I don't know. Oof, you guys are making a strong argument today. Goran says, Goran, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. I think verified identity would clean up a lot of trolling, but we'd lose some important freedoms too. Like what freedom? The freedom to post stuff that would make you embarrassed if someone knew it was you. Then why are you posting it in the first place? Why do we need different rules online than we have in society? If someone approached me with a mask on and I couldn't see anything about them and wanted to engage in conversation with me, the first rule of thumb, like even in negotiations, if you're wearing dark glasses, take them off so you don't appear threatening. Let people see you. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm too old school. Ines says, the internet would probably be more civil without anonymity, but also a lot less safe for people who genuinely need it. Yeah, probably some truth to that, I guess. Thinking again, it's pointless since the government and apps we already know everything. Our data might already be sold out. Besides data breach, even hackers may have your data. So anonymity, as of today, has lost its meaning. It had meaning and value a few years ago. There's an interesting point from Lord Pumpkins in the audience. And a point we made right at the top of the show. The platforms already know who you are. You're only anonymous from the rest of the people using the platform, not the platform itself. Facebook knows exactly who you are. And your data has been bought and sold. And yes, if there is a data breach, the hackers know exactly who you are. They already know who you are. We're talking about outward facing, the public in general. And if you're posting things that might get you into trouble, well, perhaps your problem is not the lack of anonymity. Perhaps your problem is a little bit more inward focused. So let's get to the results of the poll. There should be no anonymity online. You guys said 60% true. It's a tough one today, and of course there is no right or wrong answer as with all these topics, but very, very interesting discussion, guys. I guess there is no real consensus here because it's easy for us to say one thing, but we don't live under a repressive regime. We're not the survivors of abuse or whistleblowers, so how the hell do we put ourselves into those people's shoes? All these things that we've been expressing, guys, they're just opinions, and as Grandpa Bo would say, opinions, they're like buttholes. Everyone has one, they all stink, including mine. Let's move on to today's 100 Humans. Oh my God. It was a long walk to work today across snow-capped mountains and through river valleys, and on that walk I encountered 100 humans and I asked them all a question. Today's question is, name a place where people pretend to be someone else. Nombra un lugar donde la gente finge ser otra persona. I asked them that question, they gave me their answers. I'm in possession of the top 7 answers. Your job in the audience is to identify those top 7 answers. All right, Dan, kick us off.
People who do role play.
People who do role play. Like LARPing, live action role play.
I was thinking about Twitter role play, but yes.
Twitter role play?
There are people that do
Twitter role play?
Yes.
So
I don't, but I know people who do.
So your answer is social media?
Well, yes.
Okay, it's there, Dan. Well done. Woo, Dan, look at that. Good answer. And with 27 of 100 humans, it's the number 1 answer. Oh, role play. Anyway, it was a good answer, Dan. But, I had to fit you in a box somewhere. And it was social media. 27 people said that. It's the number 1 answer. Well done. All right, let's take a look at our friends in the audience. Carnival, says Mike. Oh, good answer. Carnival. Yeah, Dan wouldn't like it if I gave it to you, so I can't give it to you. Sorry.
But you gave it to me the same way.
You said Twitter. You said Twitter.
Now I'm the bad guy.
Now you're the bad guy. That's how it works. Eugene says on dating sites. A bunch of people online said the dating sites as well. Big thank you, by the way, to Noel, Pedro, Emily, Raj, Ivan Samroff, Ivan GP, Mia, Athel Dan, Anna Kasan, Juana Reo. A lot of you. Thank you all. And a bunch of you said specific ones like Tinder, Bumble, but a lot of you said just dating sites. As our friend Eugene in the chat said, dating sites, online dating, Thetas Online, is it there? Yes, it is! Yeah, catfishing. Yeah, if you see a photo of me on a dating site and I've got hair, I'm catfishing you. Let's see. Vero says movies. Oh. You know what? Oh, Dan, you're going to hate this. Well, look, Vero says movies and theatre. She says theatre, plays. And Lord Pumpkin says movies. I'm going to give it to them. Because they're referring to actors, actores. But theatre was there. Teatro. Teatro was there. 12 of 100 humans said theatre. Let's see. Comic-Con, says Lord Pumpkins. It's a great answer, Lord Pumpkins. And there is something where people disfrazar, see? Where people dress as someone else. It is an annual event in, is it October or November? I can't remember. That is there, but Comic-Con isn't, sadly. Renaissance fairs is Conman. It's a great answer. Content creators. Ooh, it's a great answer. In real life and everyday interactions, says Lord Pumpkins. True story. All great answers, none of them there. Wap, wap, wap. Job interviews, says Con. Job interviews. A job interview. Entrevista de trabajo. Is it there? Yes, it is. Well done. Costume parties, says Artemisa. Mike says Halloween. It's there. Well done, friends. 12 of 100 humans said that. Yeah, the funniest answer I see here. Atheldan says Vaughan Town. And Noel says PTA meetings. You know when you have to go to school to talk to your son's teachers. Some good answers there. Thank you. At the club, on social media. Some great answers at the pub. Thank you all for interacting. Let's go through the list. I asked 100 humans, nombra un lugar donde la gente finge ser otra persona, where they pretend to be someone else. In position number, you missed this one, reality TV. Reality TV. In position number 6, a job interview, entrevista de trabajo. In position number 5, theatre, teatro. Or actors, actores, right? In position number 4, we had Halloween party, fiesta de Halloween. In position number 3, we had at work, trabajo. In position number 2, online dating, citas online or apps de citas. And finally, with 27 of 100 humans in position number 1, we had social media. Well done, guys. Disfrazarse. Thank you, Vero, for the help. Artemisa said nightclub. Some great answers. Hope to see you at the lunchtime show. There will be a lunchtime show today, guys, and I'll see you then. Bye.